Welcome to step number 4 of the Patra Braids style with weave. In this step, I will be showing you how to seal the ends of your braids. And to seal the ends of your braids, you are simply going to be dipping the ends into hot water to do so. This help prevents the braids from unraveling simply because it locks the fibers into place so that they do not unravel in the future. So here on my table, I have a cup of hot steaming water. This water was previously boiling before I transferred it to my cup. You could also warm a cup of water up in the microwave until the water starts to boil as well. But when you are using a cup to dip the ends of your braids in, you want to make sure that it has a handle that does not get hot. The reason why is because if at any time you need to quickly grab your cup, you want to reach a handle that stays cool and is not hot because of the contents inside of the cup. It will be very dangerous for you to go and grab your cup and burn your hands. Which brings me to my point. Make sure that you are being safe when you are dipping your ends of your braids into water. The steam from the water and the water itself could potentially burn you and harm you. So know that your safety is in your hands and you must be careful when you are using and dealing with hot water. So also what I'm going to be using is hair cutting scissors. Once I dip the ends of my braids in water, I'm going to snip any ends that seem out of place and just stick up. So that's what you want your scissors for. And also when you bring your braids out of the water, you want to make sure that you have a thick towel in front of you. The towel will serve as a barrier between your body and the wet braids once you pull them out of the water. So right now I'm going to take my towel and position that right in front of me so that I can dip my braids. So you want to go ahead and move all of your braids to the front of you. And we're just going to concentrate on one half of our head at a time. So now that I've pulled all of the braids to the front, I'm just going to make sure to go ahead and divide the braids down the middle of my head so that I have two even sides. And I think I will start off with my right side. You want to gather all of your braids. Make sure to position this right. Grab all of your braids and twist them just a little bit so that you have a firm hold on all of your braids on the side of your head. And then you're just going to simply take the ends and guide them into the water. But before you do this, make sure you have your towel in front of you, because when you pull your braids out of the water, your braids are going to be extremely hot and you want to have your towel so you can wrap your towel around your braids. So now that I have all of my braids gathered on this side, I'm just going to take the ends and go ahead and lower them in gently into the water. Now there's no specific amount of time you need to leave the braids inside of the water. You just want to make sure that they're fully saturated with the water. And I just like to swish them around to release any air bubbles and leave it down in there just for some, a couple seconds. And then I'm just going to raise the braids out. And I have my towel in front of me. And then I'm going to dry the braids off. So go ahead, you're going to wrap your towel around. And then you're going to squeeze all the way down to the bottom of your braids. Another thing that I like to do to make sure that my braids are really smooth at the ends is to go ahead and rub the dry towel to the very bottom. So now once you notice that your braids aren't dripping any water and it's safe for you to touch and it doesn't feel hot, you want to go ahead and take your scissors, grab a bundle of braids, and use your scissors to snip off any hairs that are still frayed and that don't lay smoothly. So I'm just skimming across the bottom. You don't want to actually cut a braid because that will make your braid unravel. You just want to cut those hairs that stick out at the very bottom of the braids. And so once you've done this to whichever side you chose, you're going to do the same thing to the other side to snip the ends as well. So now that you know how to seal the ends of your braids, continue until you are finished with all of your braids. And then in the next step, I will be showing you the finished results of my Patra braids with weave.